everyone, it's stupid o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to speak quite quietly because there's some houses around here. I'm with Andy and Phil, and we are in Nottingham, and we're actually not exploring the Great Northern Railway. What? Instead, we're going to go and have a look at a structure that's been there since 1855 that actually gets more use now than it ever did then. Need to stop meeting like this, and then by the fifth time it's just awkward, isn't it? Okay, so we've got some fancy apartments, and we're coming down here. Doesn't look much like a sort of walking episode. It's more like the start of a horror film at the minute. I'm about to get butchered in an underground car park. Here we go then. And we're in the tunnel. So this is where Jack the Ripper committed his first crime. It's a bit like that, isn't it? Wow. So where are we, Andy?
We're in the Park Tunnel. There's the original exit of the tunnel.
Yeah, it's cool. That's still there. I wasn't sure how they'd done it, to be said.
Yeah, built by Thomas Hine. Chambers Hine, architect. It was built for, commissioned by the Duke of Newcastle, who lived in what people would call Nottingham Castle, was actually just a ducal mansion. And he had it built so that he could get from his estate, which is down there, obviously into the city. But the architect built it wrong, because he actually built it he wanted a horse and carriage. I think he wanted a 1 in 14 and he built it as a 1 in 12, so it was too steep.
Yeah, so wasn't it known as like Hine's Folly or something like that?
Yeah.
Wow, look at this.
Look at this, how they incorporated the old floor into the new building. I just thought it was joined up,
So look.
Really good they kept it.
Oh yeah. Stonework.
Weird, that is.
So this was built in 1855. As Andy was saying, this was built by this Thomas Hine. And I know I said it wasn't anything to do with the Great Northern Railway, but he actually designed the Great Northern Railway station in Nottingham. Can't get away from it. Right, so we're on top of it now. We've come up that bit. There you go, you've got a staircase, look. That's the gap in between. So the tunnel actually splits in two. And then it goes off. So go back down and under. Look at that. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Just bored out of this. Is that limestone?
Limestone.
Yeah.
Limestone and sandstone.
There you go. You wouldn't know this was here, would you?
No. A lot of people in Nottingham don't even know it's here.
No, because we're right in the centre of the city, where all the the shops and the bars and everything. There's probably a load of people doing a walk of shame right now, this time on a Sunday morning through Nottingham.
Huge, isn't it?
It's incredible, yeah. Birds are just waking up. So a tiny history, brief as you like, about Nottingham Castle, because there's so much history, it's mad. I was literally reading through and I was thinking, do you know what, if I'm going to reel off all of this, we're going to be here for about 2 hours. But it used to be a deer park, and then it was originally, a Norman castle, as all of these ones were, to be fair, around the country. And then it was, obviously went into the royal family, and Henry II had it, and he just, apparently from what I was reading about him, just loved killing stuff. So there was all this, area of land where they kept animals so we could hunt them. Went through lots of different owners, and then it was taken by the parliamentarians in the Civil War and slighted, which means basically it was just destroyed to a point where it couldn't be used as a castle anymore. And then it became a home for the Duke of Cavendish, wasn't it? And it was handed down.
Duke of Newcastle.
Duke of Newcastle, sorry.
Cavendish. William Cavendish.
That's where it gets confusing. But then they commissioned in 1855 to have this built, and the reason was they didn't want to knock around with the plebs, did they?
No, not at all. Also, Nottingham did notoriously have, at the time that it was built, quote, the worst slums outside of India. Because of all the industry in Nottingham.
As Andy was saying, in the industrial era, it became such a slum in certain areas that all your posh lot that lived in this, which was called the Parks Estate, didn't want to rub shoulders with them, but they did want to go into the city and they did want to watch the theatre, didn't they?
Yeah.
So this was built so they could get in their horse and carriage, get in and watch the theatre and then get out without having to rub shoulders with us.
There's the thing of Duke of Newcastle.
The crest, yeah.
Yes.
That's incredible. Look at
And
that.
that's those palisades you see is the part of the original castle when it was a ducal mansion. Because the current one's only been there since Victorian times.
Because it burnt down, didn't it?
It got burnt down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by the locals in a peasant revolt.
Right.
Because the Duke didn't want to sign the Reform Bill, so they rebelled and burnt down his castle.
What an incredible tunnel. Right, so where's this lead then? So a lot of the houses are still original, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
From that era.
Yes, they are, yeah. A lot of them were designed by Thomas Hine as well, and then the later ones by the Nottingham architect Fothergill Watson.
What a name.
Yes.
Fothergill Watson.
Yes, and what a man. He basically, his style was to take everything and chuck it all onto one building. So it's partly, that looks like it's a sort of Gothic mixed with a little bit of arts and crafts mixed with everything, and there's some fantastic buildings in the park.
All right, let's go and have a look then. I always think there's power in a name. You know, when you're naming your kid, Fothergill, Watson Fothergill is not stacking shelves, is he? With a name like that. There you go, Tunnel Road. Goes through to Derby Road, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Must be painful for you.
Very.
Andy was just telling me that this place was so private, and obviously it was private back then because they were all posh and they didn't want the ruffians in there. But even in the 80s, you're saying, Andy, it was so private you couldn't get in.
You could not, even an ice cream man couldn't come into the estate. It's got gates either end of the estate, and although they're all open now and part of the council owned land, as all roads are, back then it was owned by the Park Estate,
right?
And the people who lived in here on the estate, rather than paying towards the normal upkeep of roads like we all do, they would pay into the Park Estate.
Oh, so they were just stuff. Right. I've got you. So it's just like a little separate enclave in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
Wow. It was owned by Oxford University, I think, for a bit, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Which seems random. Oh yeah, these are old buildings, aren't they? Because there's quite a few new ones around. These are all new, obviously, but there you can see those old ones there. There's quite a mixture of old and new, isn't there? Actually, well, newish. Oh yeah, because they still had all these gas lamps around, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
So these restored or?
Yeah, they're now just electric, but they originally were gas lamps that were.
Oh, that's a replica.
Yeah.
This makes you think of like Charles Dickens or something.
Didn't they used to run them with sewage or something in the olden days?
You've always got to ruin everything.
I think Santa's going down there.
Alright, so Andy knows all about construction. That is his gig. So you've just explained to me while I wasn't filming, when I should have been. This is your Watson Fothergill.
Yeah, so he's got obviously just a standard chimney, a Victorian chimney, but then you've got those balustrades there, which are sort of neo-Gothic, and then you've got what you would almost think would be a church window, which relates to the classical. So you've got all these different styles and just mashed them all together.
Yeah, I quite like that though. And that's a totally different building, look. You can just imagine horse and carriage coming up and down these hills, can't you?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Look at that. Never seen a house like that before. You almost expect to see that in the Alps. Look at these. Here's the original gates, and we walked around. We've had a look at obviously a few of those buildings, and now we're out onto Derby Road, back into the city. But here you go.
Oh yeah.
There's an original little gatehouse. Look, amazing. Look at that. Cheers, everyone. Just a little walk through Park Tunnel in Nottingham. Thanks for your knowledge, mate.
All right.
Appreciate that. I need a coffee and some breakfast.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. As always, I'll see you next time.